In this video, we are going to break down a repeatable content framework that is used by one of the greatest content creators in the whole world, Alex Hormozi. So if you ever wondered why your videos flop while other videos about the same exact topic explode, this is the blueprint that you need. So today we're going to cover the attention grab video framework. It is a 5-step system to make your short form videos hit harder. So we're going to pull out this example by Hormozi. I'm going to play the whole video since it's only about 30 seconds.
If you have no money, you should have no shame. Knock, call, DM, email, ask. Life-changing doors don't open themselves. Worst case scenario, you are in the exact same position you were before, except you have a little bit more experience. Best case scenario, the door opens and your life changes forever. And so it's a zero-risk move to take more shots on goal when life gives you unlimited shots. But the problem is that most people just don't want to take the first one because they fear rejection more than regret.
All right, so this is what I mean by a simple, structured framework. He's using a repeatable formula that instantly hooks people, and we are going to break down how you can do the same thing. So step one is to start with a hook that slaps people across the face, that makes it feel like a wake-up call.
If you have no money, you should have no shame.
So this is what I mean by an instant attention grabber. The first sentence needs to be this strong so that you can't possibly scroll past it. So how do you make this happen? You need to start with a contrarian statement, something that goes against the status quo, something that challenges people's belief system. And you have to make it short, punchy, and powerful. Here's 2 hook examples of videos that I made on LinkedIn that both got over 1 million views. The first one was stop writing down your best content ideas and do this instead. And the second was your business is too boring to go viral. Both of those hooks worked so well because they demanded attention. People wanted to see what was next. So your action step is to write out 5 of these bold statements that go against the conventional wisdom, that challenge the status quo in your industry. So step number 2 is we are going to call out the pain point. We're going to call out the real problem.
Knock, call, DM, email, ask. Life-changing doors don't open themselves.
This is where you highlight the core issue that people are struggling with most. Hormozi isn't telling you what to do. He's reminding you of what you're not doing. And that's what makes it even more powerful. So here's how you apply this. Again, you are going to call out the exact problem that is holding your audience back. And again, you are going to keep it short, punchy, and concise. And then lastly, you're going to keep it fast-paced, almost like a checklist. So here's an example. You hesitate, you overthink, and then you never even hit send. So the next action step for you is to identify the biggest excuse that your audience makes for not taking action and write it into a short sentence. In step 3, we're going to flip the script on the problem and reframe it.
Worst case scenario, you are in the exact same position you were before, except you have a little bit more experience.
So in this step, what we need to do is remove the fear. So most people don't take action because they're scared. So you have to show them that failure isn't actually a risk. You need to show them that their fear is irrational and that the failure that they will ultimately achieve is just growth. Here's an example of the reframe. If they ignore your message, nothing changes. But if they actually reply, everything changes. So what your next step is to write out the powerful reframe that makes inaction actually look like the bigger risk than taking the action. Step 4 is to now tap into the emotion.
Best case scenario, the door opens and your life changes forever.
This is the emotional pull that you need to get people from doing nothing to actually taking the action that could potentially change their life. So what you need to do is make the worst case scenario sound terrible and the best case scenario sound like the ideal possible outcome that they would ever get. So for example, every client that you don't pitch is just money left on the table, but every client that you do pitch is the opportunity to double your income. So your next action step here is to write out the sentence that highlights the best case scenario of action versus the worst case scenario inaction. And step 5 is to give them the powerful call to action without just saying, buy my shit.
And so it's a zero-risk move to take more shots on goal when life gives you unlimited shots. But the problem is that most people just don't want to take the first one because they fear rejection more than regret.
Hormozi doesn't end with a weak CTA like follow me for more tips like this. What he's doing is challenging the audience's excuses and making them question their own behavior. So the way that you apply this is that you need to call out the reason that people are hesitating and make them feel as if they have no choice whatsoever but to act. So here's a really good example. You're not stuck, you're just scared. And that fear, it's costing you everything. So your last action step here is to write your call to action, to write that one sentence that forces the audience to take the action you want them to. All right, so let's take everything that we just covered and apply it to you. Here's the structure. Number one, start with that bold attention-grabbing statement. Step two is to call out the pain point of what most people are doing. Step three is to reframe that problem with a powerful shift. Four is to show the emotional contrast, best case versus worst case scenario. And step five is to end it with a strong challenge, not a weak call to action. If you follow these 5 steps, your content is going to hit harder. So go out and come up with your own version using this framework and record a 30-second video and post it and tell me that it doesn't get twice the engagement that most of your videos do. So if you want more breakdowns just like this one, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Now go out and make a video. See ya.